Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. It's been well over a year since Niall Horan won The Voice for the very first time, thanks to a series of unbelievable performances from Gina Miles. Horan steamrolled the competition as he cruised to a season 23 victory. Thankfully, fans of this unbeatable duo don't have to wait much longer to see them together again. On July 7, Miles announced she'd live her dream as she joins Horan on a few upcoming US tour dates. Did someone say I'm opening for Niall Horan? I'm so excited to finally tell you guys had a bit of a break, but I've been preparing a super fun set for these two shows and can't wait to see some of you guys there. Love you to the moon, she said. Opening for a big-time act is no small feat, but clearly Miles has the talent and the drive and connections to make it happen. After winning season 23, Miles explained what her relationship with Horan meant to her throughout the competition. He's been a great mentor and a great friend. I said that before, but I really do mean that, Miles revealed. I do think he's been one of the best friends and mentors that I could ask for, and literally every single day, I'm so happy that I picked Niall. Gina Miles tour dates with Niall Horan in 2024. Fans in Chicago and the Bay Area should consider themselves extremely lucky. See the dates and venues below. In other words, summer just got a little bit hotter for fans of The Voice, especially those counting down the days until season 26. This musical partnership has been more than a year in the making, and fans have none other than Horan himself to thank for it. After season 23 wrapped, Horan manifested Miles opening up for him one day, and who knew the day would come so quickly? If we can get her on some shows, things will have to happen in the background, but absolutely yeah. Horan explained to E! I mean, this girl, I've been saying it for so long, I feel like no one was listening. This girl is like, talent when you hear it. And this girl's got it. So yeah, there's no reason why she wouldn't open up for me at some point. It was a chilly October evening in New York City, the kind of night where the air feels crisp and the golden hues of autumn leaves dance with every gust of wind. The city was abuzz with its usual frenetic energy, but for a select few in the music industry, the excitement was reaching fever pitch. A highly anticipated event was about to take place. Niall Horan and Gina Miles, the dynamic duo from The Voice, were set to reunite for the first time since Gina's electrifying win on the show a year ago. The venue was a historic one, steeped in musical legacy, the Apollo Theater, a place where legends were made, and the echoes of past performances seemed to linger in the air, carrying whispers of greatness. Tonight, it would host an event that had everyone talking. For Niall, the past year had been a whirlwind. His time as a coach on The Voice had been a surprising but incredibly fulfilling chapter in his life. When Gina Miles, a shy 18-year-old with a voice that could stop time, auditioned with her haunting rendition of Billie Eilish's Everything I Wanted, Niall knew he had found something extraordinary. Her voice was raw, powerful, and full of an emotion that belied her age. Niall had turned his chair in seconds, and from that moment, a bond was forged. Gina's journey on The Voice was nothing short of meteoric. Week after week, she delivered performances that left audiences and judges alike in awe. Under Niall's mentorship, she blossomed not just as a singer, but as an artist, refining her unique sound and learning to channel her deep emotions into every note she sang. When she was crowned the winner, it felt like a culmination of all their hard work, but it was also just the beginning. In the year that followed, Gina's career took off. Her debut album, Echoes of You, produced with Niall's guidance, topped the charts and garnered critical acclaim. She was hailed as one of the brightest new stars in the music world, a voice that spoke to a generation. Yet, despite the success, there was a sense that something was unfinished between Niall and Gina. Their partnership on The Voice had been so strong, so symbiotic, that fans and industry insiders alike wondered if there would ever be a reunion. And now, Here they were, on the brink of that long-awaited moment. As the Apollo filled with an eager audience, Niall arrived backstage, greeted by familiar faces and a palpable sense of anticipation. He was dressed in a sharp black suit, a slight departure from his usual laid-back style. But tonight was special. He had been asked to perform a few songs. But what made the night truly significant was what would follow, a surprise that had been kept under wraps for months. Gina was already at the venue, tucked away in a quiet dressing room. She was nervous, though not in the same way she had been during her time on The Voice. This was a different kind of pressure. The past year had been a roller coaster, and while she had thrived under the spotlight, there was a vulnerability in her that had never quite left. She was about to reunite with the mentor who had believed in her when no one else did, the person who had helped shape her into the artist she had become. When the time came for Niall to take the stage, the crowd erupted into cheers. He'd opened with a few of his hits, his voice strong and sure, the years of experience evident in every note. The energy in the room was electric, but there was an undercurrent of expectancy. Everyone knew something special was about to happen. After finishing his set, Niall took a moment to address the audience. "Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight," he said, his Irish lilt met with more cheers. "This place, this city, it's all so full of history. And tonight, we're going to make a little bit of our own." The crowd hushed, leaning in as Niall continued. "A year ago, I had the incredible privilege of working with someone who, in my opinion, is one of the most talented artists of our generation. Her voice is something truly special, and I'm so proud of everything she's achieved since her win on The Voice. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Gina Miles." The room exploded with applause as Gina walked onto the stage, looking every bit the star she had become. She wore a flowing black dress, simple yet elegant, her dark hair cascading over her shoulders. But it was her presence, her quiet confidence, that captivated everyone. She smiled shyly at the crowd before turning to Niall, who grinned back at her with unmistakable pride. Together, they performed In the Silence, a song from Gina's album that had become a fan favorite. Their voices blended seamlessly, Niall's rich, mellow tones complementing Gina's ethereal voice perfectly. The song, a haunting ballad about love and loss, held the audience spellbound. It was as if time stood still. The only sounds in the world were the notes they were creating together. As the final chord faded, the applause was deafening. Gina and Niall exchanged a look, a mix of relief and triumph. This wasn't just a reunion. It was a moment of closure, of completion. They had started a journey together, and now, standing on this historic stage, it felt like they had brought it full circle. After the show, backstage was a whirlwind of activity. Friends, family, and industry insiders all buzzed with excitement, congratulating the pair on their performance. But for Niall and Gina, there was a quiet moment of reflection. "You did amazing, Gina," Niall said, his voice warm with pride. "I couldn't have done any of this without you," Gina replied, her eyes shining. "You've been there for me since day one." Niall smiled, shaking his head. "You've always had it in you. I just helped you find it." As the night wound down and the crowds began to disperse, there was a sense that this reunion was just the beginning of something new. Niall and Gina had forged a bond that went beyond mentor and mentee. They were collaborators, kindred spirits in the world of music. And while the future was uncertain, one thing was clear. Whatever came next, they would face it together, their voices ringing out in harmony, echoing through the annals of music history.